In this video, I'm going to teach you how to draw a roof. Now, our roof is so incredibly boring that it will take you but a minute to draw. Um, so what I want you to do is just refer back to the section here. The roof itself starts at level 4 and goes up to level 5. And it's so boring. It's just a flat roof that's 3 feet, 2 inches wide, and all the stuff that's attached to it, the corbels and this little profile, this is all surface treatment. So all we're going to do is just create our basic roof, and then later when we learn how to create our custom windows, this will all just be an extrusion along a path similar to how you create um, uh, a crown molding, and it's just going to be really simple. For now, though, we're just going to treat this basic roof. And again, when we come in and build this thing, we'll be able to create this very simple roof here. But what I want you to do is just start by going to level 4 because that's where the roof's going to go. If you don't see this, what you need to do is change your base level, your underlay to level 2. And we're going to go to architecture and we will draw the roof. I did in a previous work session, I did move my section cut here, so I want to put that back because I want to show you something with it in a second. We're going to do roof by footprint. Now keep in mind, you as the interior designer will have very little say in what the roof structure looks like. You might get to pick the finish or select the finish, or perhaps, give some idea about general roof line and shape and overhang, but the drawing of the actual roof will be within the purview of the architect. But you'll know how to do it at least so that you can work on a schematic design if you want to. So I'm going to go ahead and select this. And you can see here the slopes are showing, and I'll show you what those represent in a second. There is no slope in our roof, so we're going to do 0/12. That's how you indicate that there's no slope because this is just a flat roof. And we'll go to edit type to the structure. Yours will probably say 12 inches here, so go ahead and just select it and put 3 feet, 2 inches or 34 inches or 38 inches, and it'll correct. Once we have that, you just hit OK. We're going to check that box. And here is the most boring roof in the world. So that's what I want to see at the completion of this particular deliverable or competency. But I'm going to just kind of show you a couple of other fun things to do with your roof if you want to experiment down the road. So when you click on it, you're going to hit edit footprint, and there's the footprint. So we can start to uh, select the overhang if we want to change it by selecting lines. And this works just like when we change the distance for or the size or shape of the flooring footprint or the ceiling footprint. And I can click here and I can change this overhang to 12. And I can change it here by scooting it out. I'm just using my arrows to make this change. And I can change this to 12 inches. And this, I can use my arrows to move that out. I'm using my up arrow to move it out. And I can click on this dimension and change it to 12. And I can do the same thing here. So now I've got a little bit more of an eave. Okay, and then I can hit this checkbox and now you can see, I'll show you in the section. It's got a little bit of an overhang. I can also change the pitch by again selecting it. And I can change it either here, oops, here. And edit footprint. And I can change the slope here from 0/12 to, let's say, 9. Nothing happened. Hold on a second. What's going on here? Hold on, stand by. Let's go ahead and delete roof. And I'm going to draw it again. Okay. And now we should have a little bit more of a, yeah. So there's our 9/12. Now we can click and drag this up and down like this. We can have a very pointy roof or a very short roof. Let's look at this in section. Okay, so you can see here, I've got my crop window. Okay, we can lower and raise this rather easily as well. Okay, we can also edit the footprint. It's asking us what view we want to see it in. So we can see it in the level 4. And I can change this side, let's say, to a 6/12, and I can change the pitch just a little bit. If you've ever noticed on roof lines, there's sometimes they're not all at the same pitch. Let's see if it'll let me do it. Yeah. So you can see here that the pitch for the roofs on this side are different than the pitch here. If you all can hear my dog snoring in the background, I apologize. Okay. And so you can also experiment with, for example, editing the footprint, and you can create different slopes depending on the roof type. If you can also play around with the slope arrow, and you can change the direction of the slope of your roof if you wanted to make a vaulted one, for example. But the roof itself can get real picky here. You can see the arrow. And it's just like the ceilings that we've created where we changed uh, the height. And so you can mess with the height at the tail and the offset and create, like a shed roof that only angles up in one direction. You can also create a vaulted roof where basically there's essentially two roofs that meet in a V at the top. But I'm going to let you all kind of mess with that on your own time if you want to. For right now, though, we just want that simple 3 foot to um, thick, just generic roof slab that we showed at the very beginning, and then we'll get to mess with it a little bit more. Okay, so just one more time, we're going to draw that again, and then when it's done, you will have a visual to see. And then I'm going to go through and change all of my slopes right back to 0/12. And then we'll be all set.